Good evening. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us on this special broadcast, Voice of Reasoning, with Mr. Joseph Bannie and myself, Alex Jones. Again, welcome. Today we'll be discussing some current issues as well as looking at one of the presidential candidate, one of the four what I term corrupt, useless Liberian presidential candidates in this election. We'll be talking specifically today about Tiawan Gongloe, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. So again, welcome to the show, Mr. Bannie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I hope that our listening audience will, out of fairness, will understand some of the underlying factors why we are on here to give them heads up. This old saying goes, you can meet a man with food, but you can't meet a man with news. So the news we're going to be giving you today, or the information we're going to be giving you today, don't just hold all responsible. There's something that we have seen and we have known that we want to share with you. You can do anything you want to do, in your own decision. But before you do it, we want you to reason with us.
Right.
Reason.
And that's why the name of the show is Voice of Reasoning, because many times in our society, people just follow. They don't think. And that's what reasoning is. You think for yourself, you question everybody, and you make your own informed decision. And unfortunately, we don't have the media, we don't have the educational system in Liberia, the media, even the clergy, to come out and put the facts before the people to help them to think. Everybody on this bandwagon, if it's not JMB bandwagon, it's Cummins bandwagon, or it's Tiawan Gongloe bandwagon, or it's George Weah bandwagon. So, especially the young people that I'm interested in, who I believe is the majority of Liberians, and they are the ones who future are most affected. I want to make sure they understand who these people are. Most of them were born in the late 90s or even 2000. So they don't know who Tiawan Gongloe is. They don't know Tiawan Gongloe worked for the corrupt Saye government administration that completely looted the central bank, took the money for themselves, built the houses. They don't know that. And these are facts, irrefutable facts that anyone can check. All right. And as you mentioned, even and you got more information on this, that Tiawan Gongloe organized the Nima Defense Force.
Yeah, one of the organizers.
One of the organizers of it.
Right.
And then he masqueraded himself as this law-abiding human rights advocate.
My goodness.
They don't know Tiawan Gongloe is the same one who helped get Ellen in power, campaigned for him. I read his article. Okay. I think twice he campaigned for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He was one of the ministers in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. And he was very incompetent, both at the Solicitor General and the Ministry of Justice, and especially the Ministry of Labor. Okay. Tiawan Gongloe was telling Liberian people that Liberia unemployment rate at 5%. That's where George Weah got it from. So today, if you go on the central bank website and you check West Liberia unemployment rate, it will tell you say 5% or 6%. It's people that Tiawan Gongloe was head of the Ministry of Labor. And unfortunately, they didn't perform. They don't know that woman Dickey, this foreigner that ended up becoming the Anti-Corruption Commission, had to have been had to go through the Bar Association to be licensed to practice law in Liberia. Tiawan Gongloe was the head of the Bar Association.
Okay.
What did he do? How will you allow a foreigner that everybody can recognize to come to the school, no due diligence, and this man end up almost becoming the election commissioner of Liberia. So this man has a lot to answer to
account for.
Viewers need to know him. So I would start with you. What's your own impression about Tiawan Gongloe? Nothing here is personal. Okay, we are just going by the facts. It's not like we like this person or we hate this person, but somebody has to say the truth. Unfortunately, since nobody's doing it, we chose to take our time and have the courage to come out and talk about, what needs to be talked about.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity once again. Tiawan Gongloe, in my personal view, I must admit that I'm not so familiar with most of these people. However, I made some research. So, as a matter of fact, why would we or me come on a national show in the public to try to talk about somebody's character,
Mm-hmm.
somebody's leadership, that I don't know? In the first place, Tiawan Gongloe and my big brother, Bannie, are very best friends. As a matter of fact, when I went to Liberia a few months ago, my brother sat me down and kind of gave me heads up, encouraged me to join Tiawan Gongloe. He said Tiawan Gongloe and I, we are best friends. He even names Amos Sawyer and other of his peers, Dusty Wolokwali, and all of these guys. He said we are all pairs, Crowder boys. So I want you to join Tiawan Gongloe. I will talk to him that this is my brother, Joseph Bannie, and he can work for you. I look in my brother's eye, I say, as much as I respect you, my brother, but I don't think my character will allow me to be part of Tiawan Gongloe. Because you see, if we are going to be truthful, the Liberian people say, let's talk so, we talk so. We should not do something because of our own personal gains. I believe Tiawan Gongloe would have given me money or given me position because of my brother, but that should not be the case. Let my attitude, let my action give me job, not greediness, not my own greed, because I'm looking at the majority of the masses, the youth, especially so our young women of Liberia, that our government had turned these beautiful women into, excuse me for the expression, prostitutes. And most of them have become single mothers. I mean, I pity them. I really pity them. The youth, strong men that are supposed to be in our military, supposed to be in our police, supposed to be in other areas, earning, working to be responsible for their own selves. But they lavish them. So talking about Tiawan Gongloe, okay, how long has this man been in this fight for justice? And how many times have this man exercised justice against the effect of the broom he had to sweep corruption? Let Tiawan Gongloe come up to the Liberian public and make his case, and not allow people to write your story. You can write your own story, Mr. Gongloe, and not somebody else. Come up and tell us, when you are Solicitor General for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, how many corrupt people did you prosecute? And how many of them went to jail? How many of them made restitution? Because see, when we bring corrupt people to justice, we want two things. You either go to jail or you restitute. Bring back our money. Those are the two things for me. I will prosecute a corrupt man. I'm not after you to go to jail, but bring back our money, and maybe with interest. So let Mr. Tiawan Gongloe come up to tell us his justice fight he's fighting. How many people he have fought? I mean, the poor people. How many poor people have he fought for? Not just holding black bag in your hand, running up and down, or temple of justice up and down. That makes you the lawyer. The lawyer is how many poor people did you free? Oh, the old mothers whose daughter were raped. Today, that woman did not get justice. What did you do about it? We have young women being castrated, killed, cleaned up, thrown in a bath. What have you done about those things? Okay, we have these auditors that were killed. Tiawan Gongloe. You don't have to be president to talk about it. What did you do about it? So Tiawan Gongloe cannot be president of this country. My
Okay,
people,
Mr. Bannie.
this man is just want to suck us.
Mr. Bannie, like I said, let's be factual. As far as the Nima Defense Force, I know for a fact that Burma family is a warlord. Okay, he was part of the group in Sierra Leone. He testified before the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So did
Right.
Tiawan Gongloe. Burma family was the standard bearer of Tiawan Gongloe Party, LPP.
Okay, yes.
Tiawan Gongloe had no problem with a former warlord, right? Supporting a former warlord for president. Burma family. That's a fact. And that troubles me. Okay? Because when you're gonna say you want to stand up against Prince Johnson and Charles Taylor, and you got Burma family is the head and leader of your party that you currently running on the LPP party, I have a problem with that. I question your morals.
Right.
And this was the very reason why, according to my research, that Tiawan Gongloe were arrested on Taylor. Because Tiawan Gongloe, on the one hand, was in the public portraying himself as a human rights advocate, but really he was part of the LPP party trying to bring down Taylor government. Okay. So that's why Tiawan Gongloe were arrested. He was not arrested, so he was not just an advocate. You're almost like a double agent. On the one hand, he's a politician. On the other hand, like how on the other hand, he claims to be a human rights lawyer. You cannot have your cake and eat it. If you're gonna be a human rights lawyer, then you're gonna fight and advocate and criticize Prince Johnson, Burma family. You can't be supporting Burma family. You can't be supporting Prince Johnson because he's a Gio man. You're a Gio man. But then when it comes to Charles Taylor, then you have everything negative to say about Charles Taylor. You can also be supporting Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who is also a warlord, worked in her government, held 2 to 3 positions. I think he was acting minister of justice. I stand corrected if that's not the case. But I know he was Solicitor General and he was Minister of Labor.
Okay.
Yeah. So this man is a very, he's a very sneaky man.
He been around. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not an honest man. You also work for Amos Sawyer with the Black Beret and the Samuka.
Okay.
This was a terrorist organization that terrorized Liberian people under the Amos Sawyer administration. I was there. Okay, they brought no justice. They arrested people, accused them falsely, put them in South Beach. Okay, the same Burma family was the national security advisor on Ellen when students that were protesting peacefully because their teachers were not paid, and they sent the police to disperse them and beat them. Tiawan Gongloe was in that government. So how you can come out now and talk about, oh yeah, I'm a human rights lawyer. Where were you when Ellen was sending police on a university campus to beat people, exercising their freedom of speech and expression? Where were you when Sawyer, Black Beret were brutalizing people in Monrovia? With all the corruption, they took the IGNO, what they call it, interim government of no use.
Interim government, yeah. IGNO.
That was it. Interim government of no use. That was the cliche. And that's where Tiawan Gongloe comes from.
Interim government
and all the full disclosure, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, okay, until you prove yourself wrong. When I was told about Tiawan Gongloe, I had the opportunity to speak with him. I was desperately looking for a new individual to come to the fore against this politician. I gave Tiawan Gongloe the benefit of the doubt. I even promoted him. Okay. But when I sat and had a telephone discussion with Tiawan Gongloe as to his policy, as to his stance on these things, Tiawan Gongloe had no answer. He had no plan. and will be able to go to his platform here. All he's been is just one guy who has been with this progressive, useless progressive people that have caused all the trouble in Liberia, line the pockets, and now he wants to come out here and the corrupt media people, they focus on Liberia, they spoon TV, all these corrupt people, with never asking these questions. So please tell us if you know anything about this Nima Defense Force. Obviously, Liberia Code don't prosecute anybody. If you tell me say Samuel Tua is corrupt, there's no proof, legal proof. If you tell me George Riaso, nobody should kind of expect that Liberian Code went out there and saw Tiawan Gongloe. But in Liberia, there's common knowledge. If you are staying with Prince Johnson and you're having meetings and having you're supporting them or you're not speaking against them, you're part of that.
Right.
So please tell what you know about this because this Nima Defense Force with Tiawan Gongloe for the world.
You see, they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. I mean, if I'm not a drug addict, why am I hanging out with drug dealers? Why am I hosting drug dealers in my house? So that alone should tell you that I know something about their deal and I'm in the activities. Well, whenever TRC will get into a section, the moderator will say that all the things that will be said here about people, we will not use them against them in court. Well, if you're not going to use the people criminal act against them, then why you want them to come testify? Why waste $7 to $8 million of people of Liberian tax money to bring people to tell us in our face how to rape our mama, how to destroy, how to burn down our town? Like my town, Belayala was burned two times. But thank God the people were resilient. Today we still got the town going. A lot of villages were burned. So we know these people. Now, if we are going to be just to ourselves, why must I be affiliating with someone who raped someone else's mom, who raped someone else's daughter?
Speaking of Prince Johnson particularly.
No, I'm speaking of Tiawan Gongloe.
Okay, all right.
I'm talking about the effects that the war brought on us. For someone like Tiawan Gongloe to be calling himself a just man, one who will sweep corruption. What was he doing? Like being affiliated with men like the Boyma family.
Right.
Knowing this man that he harbored rebel and he was one of the rebels that killed even
Liberians.
The rebel
leader, not harbored.
Rebel leader who destroyed Liberia. Tiawan Gongloe is like me, Joseph Bannie. I'm talking about bringing justice to Liberia and going to be a right-hand man to Prince Johnson and praising Prince Johnson. If I'm going to praise Prince Johnson to be the revolutionary leader, if I'm going to praise Prince Johnson like they always calling him revolutionary leader, what is revolution in the first place? Revolution is to clean out and bring new things. Everything should be new, not reformation. They got two formation. They got reformation and revolution. When you reform, you take out some stuff that's not good and leave some that are good. For revolution, you should wipe out everything and bring new things. It's like you break the whole foundation and build a new foundation. That's revolution. Reformation is you break part of the foundation, take it out, and leave the other one and put a new one. That's reformation. So, what revolutionary act did Prince Johnson bring on the table? So, what I'm saying here is that Tiawan Gongloe, you knew that, and you are calling yourself the fighter of corruption. Okay, all those things aligned together, it makes you not being who you say you are. There is a testimony, a TRC testimony, that linked Tiawan Gongloe to be one of the organizers of Niba Defense Force. That was one of the last forces that were formed to fight Charles Taylor. Came from Guinea way, you know. So this man came on the TRC seat to testify. In his deliberation, he said Tiawan Gongloe was one of the organizers of the Niba Defense Force.
Okay, all right.
So where do we go? Where do we go for our fight? We got to check TRC reports, and all the things are documented. They are there. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. I listen to TRC confession most of the time, and this guy came on to say Tiawan Gongloe was one of those founders of a rebel group. Now, so how can you put people together to destroy Liberia, and you turn around and say you're going to be the fixer of Liberia? That's double standard. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I will continue to stand on it until I'm proven.
Hello, folks. How are you? I'm glad to join you guys. I know probably I was not invited for this discussion.
Welcome.
This is the African Actions Network, and I think we have responsibility to our listeners and to everyone who gets on the show. The topic is about Tiawan Gongloe, and I think it's purposeful. So we must be very keen and provide the hardcore evidence as we guys, any of those individuals who are contesting Liberian political system to be leaders. Like you said, if there's any piece of evidence that Tiawan Gongloe has formed a defense force, it's better that we provide the evidence to Liberians so that they will know. And it's not about somebody say James Jensen is a killer, and then so that is the case. Jensen is a killer.
No, right.
All of those warlords, as far as our records are concerned, Tiawan Gongloe is not named as one of those warlords, meaning someone who formed the war. So
but Jensen, that's not why
except that fellow lie on the oath.
What we're saying,
so that's the issue. That's the issue. If somebody confesses, somebody says something, it is obligated on us to also provide
it's
evidence.
Obligated on the press of Liberia.
Why it is obligated?
Let me come in.
You yourself that have come on the show to discuss this individual. We must have the hard fights. That's my concern.
Nobody has any fact.
If we don't have the hard fight, we shouldn't be saying
the fights are all laid out in TRC. We need to examine the TRC report.
Someone testify.
We need to examine the TRC report. Nobody will come on the post and swear to say the truth and nothing but the truth and lie on somebody.
Right.
And if that person swears, I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth and say anything about somebody, we take it as a fight.
If there was a testimony, if the testimony of somebody on the TRC says something,
but I'm only referencing. So we're not allowed to reference
a defense force. That's a serious allegation.
That means that we should talk about it.
Lawyer.
That means that we should not talk about it, right?
No, I'm not saying
Does that mean that we should not talk about it?
We must have
Mr. Bannie, hold on 1 second here. Because that's our society. You can talk about Prince Johnson with no evidence. You can talk about Charles Taylor with no evidence. You can talk about George Weah with no evidence. But as soon as you talk about somebody they like, then they have a problem. Then you must.
No, that's an issue. If I want to talk about Charles Taylor, I can provide you evidence. I can provide you documents.
There are a lot of stuff that was said about Charles Taylor and all of these people. You cannot prove it.
People report.
You can't prove it.
We can provide evidence. If Prince Johnson is discovered, we can provide evidence. Not just about somebody say Prince Johnson.
People report, Jensen. People report in the New York Times and say, according to my sources, they don't name sources.
They don't name sources.
People report
I'm not going to name sources. Let's go to TRC and we can examine it.
The man is saying that somebody testified in the TRC that Tiawan Gongloe was a member of the Nima Defense Force. What's wrong with that? You're the journalist.
Something
You're
wrong
the
with it.
lawyer.
Something wrong with it because listen to me.
You need to go
Something
and
wrong
ask Tiawan
because
Gongloe
Mr.
now.
Bannie is an
You need to
educated
ask
person.
Tiawan
If
Gongloe
Tiawan
if he's a
Gongloe
member
was
of
named
the
as
Nima
the
Defense
founder
Force
of
or
the
not.
Nima
But you're
Defense
never
Force,
asking it.
the TRC would have captured that to say Tiawan Gongloe is a warlord, or the
No,
international
that's
partner
not
would
true.
have
No, the
made this
That's not
TRC
public.
has
true.
never. The
Being
TRC don't come out to
being a
name
member
anybody.
of a defense force in
TRC don't
Liberia
do that.
does not make you a warlord.
So what
No.
make it a
The
relevant evidence that
TRC,
we should all dwell on
was
and call
a
somebody
member.
a warlord?
Amos Sawyer was
Why
a
should we
member
call
of
Tiawan Gongloe a warlord? I
MPFL.
don't have to
The
deal with
TRC
Tiawan
report did
Gongloe.
not
He's not my
say.
father. He's not my brother. He's nobody to me.
Jesse, y'all stop this thing. Ellen Johnson
But
Celine
you
and
have to
Amos
start
Sawyer.
because you must
Hold on,
provide
Ellen
evidence
Johnson
against anybody.
Celine.
If you
Ellen
provided
Johnson
evidence
Celine.
against Prince
Can I have a
Johnson,
word, please?
Tiawan
Jesse.
Gongloe,
Are you
Ellen
a
Johnson Celine,
supporter
that
of
is
Tiawan
perfect.
Gongloe? They will give you your time to support him, but you
Right.
can't come and
Don't cut
interrupt.
him
I know that
to.
your
We're not
station.
here for argument.
Yeah, I
We're
know that
here
your
to
station,
say what we
you can't
know.
interrupt and you don't want us to have a word. That's why I talk about the
candidate
media.
within this race.
It's
And I think
unprofessional.
Tiawan Gongloe is one of those persons we must give you a credit.
Tiawan Gongloe is welcome to
That's my
come and
position.
join our show, and we can ask him the question whether or
Right.
not he's a member of the Nima Defense Force. I'm sure you are interviewed Tiawan Gongloe. Why haven't you asking that question?
No, the issue is you raising an issue.
I ask you a question as a journalist in the media. Somebody is alleging that this man was a part of. That's an allegation. Why don't you ask as a journalist? You can pick up the phone and call Tiawan Gongloe and say, people say I got sources, or people say your name was mentioned in the TRC. Were you a member of the Defense Force in any association? But you will not do that. You're a journalist. You're a media person.
You come onto a radio platform and you raising an issue. So I text and I said, can you provide a hard evidence?
Nobody said it's that
because I am. Listen to me. You ask a question.
The man gave his source. The man said that his source is the TRC.
Integral part of the Cllr radio. I decided to come on so we all can discuss
this. You can't defend
Tiawan
Gongloe.
That you cannot provide evidence.
Somebody
providing testimony. If you ever want to quote and provide testimony, does that mean then you are a doer?
Nobody's saying that he is. All we are saying here is that
you're heading to that.
The hearing is the evidence. The hearing suggested.
It's no evidence.
Let me just have a word. And then you can take the floor.
We just throw one bomb. We just throw one bomb and everybody running around.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf supported the IMPFL. Okay? There was no record. Nobody having a documentation.
No.
What his name? Amos Sawyer supported the IMPFL. That caused the lives of over 250,000 people. The TRC report did not mention them as warlords. So if Tiawan Gongloe in any way, form, or association affiliated with people who are members of the Nima Defense Force, we shouldn't say it.
No. I don't say it, but you must provide evidence when you're saying it.
That's why I say
But
then look, Mr. Jensen, attorney. All right, Attorney Jensen. Attorney Jensen, we're not before the court. Okay, we're not before the court. And I'm not here to come tell you, say, hey, here,
we have the right to say our opinion.
But I can tell you the sources to go there to make your research.
Exactly.
You know, I can only tell you, look, go here. Now, if you don't see it, let me know. I'll help you out.
Exactly. Go to the TRC.
There are a lot of evidences. There are a lot of evidences, Mr. Attorney. That bunch of evidences that TRC has that you can go and dig into. And if I want to do my research,
can you provide the page that TRC has a recommendation, right?
No, we don't have to. What we told you,
if you are quoting the TRC, they do have the TRC report. The entire trial, the process,
and said that during the hearing, somebody who took an oath, their testimony is enough evidence in any court.
In any court,
the TRC is a legitimate.
You are an attorney, sir.
If somebody said Jensen was part of this faction, and I quote and say, according to the TRC, I don't have to go and give the day.
So who is the person that said it? You must get the name of the person that said it.
Now, and that's Tiawan Gongloe and his campaign and the journalist.
So you want me to call the person name?
Do the job.
Do you want me to name my sources?
Yes,
do you want me to name my sources?
That would be the more professional thing to do.
Now, who does that? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that?
New York Times.
Evidence.
No. Let me ask you, attorney. Let me tell you, attorney. Who does that? Come on the show that say Mr. Jim Johnson said that this can steal. Who does that?
Right.
And expect Jim Johnson to come give me news again. Who does that?
Exactly. But no, that
so what I'm saying here, excuse me,
to have a special more.
Excuse me,
in the news media, everybody have sources. They can say that according to my source, Tiawan Gongloe was involved with the Nima defense force. What's all the men like you, man? Second of all, he with Johnson. That's enough evidence.
Okay, look, Mr. Chu-Chu.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, Mr. Attorney.
With Tiawan,
no, let me just close with this, Mr. Attorney.
Because I think it's freaking.
Mr. Attorney.
Yeah.
So sorry that you came in late and to cut our time. We got an hour. We got a time frame to do our talk show.
Interrupt our program.
The topic is why these people should not be president.
Exactly.
We are not here to say no, they must be. So if you came to defend him, I'm sorry. The platform is not for you.
No.
So my question to you.
I came on. No. Get it right. Let me set that page first. I came because I am the CEO of 2A Radio.
Okay.
And then media will just interrupt a program.
But then you cannot defend. You cannot defend.
CNN got CEO and Chief Operating Officer of Fox News. They will never come on a program and say, "Oh, what the commentators are saying." And
it will be after it all call us and we can talk about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
I would have called you people, right? I would have called the program. That's what I would have done.
That's the thing I'm talking about.
It is my right to get on board and also discuss the issue.
Now you're right. I'm seeing.
All right. You're right.
We have an opinion.
Anything said on this platform, I have it.
But you don't have a right to people's opinion. If I feel that Tiawan Gongloe,
no, I know your opinion. I'm not your opinion. You have your right to. You have the right to say what is right on 2A Radio.
Well, how do you know who determines what's right?
If you are raising questionable issues and you are not properly providing evidence,
why this particular one is questionable? All the things you said, but all the other people yesterday, none of them questionable. You talk yesterday about Ellis Cummings. You talk about Ellis Cummings. You talk about no. We know you are progressive, man. Let Tiawan Gongloe campaign. Let Tiawan Gongloe campaign do his bidding. I'm sure
let's talk about this.
He's a competent person. I'm sure if anybody says something that is incorrect, Tiawan Gongloe is a lawyer. He can defend himself. He can come out there and say, "You said this is not true." As a politician, Tiawan Gongloe now is a politician. And you can't tell me for anybody to speak and say things about politicians that you have evidence. Joe Biden here. People call Joe Biden all kinds of names on state TV.
But there's a street conversation people keep about, right?
On Fox News and CNN.
Mr. Jones, don't go to Joe Biden. Mr. Jones, don't go to Joe Biden. What kind of name they never call George Weah? What kind of accusation they never level against George Weah? Even the Ellen Johnson, even the vibrant, what kind of allegation they have not leveled against these people? So they come up and say, "Here's my evidence."
No. The evidence will be provided. You are accusing someone of forming a local defense force. So what is wrong with you having the evidence? Mr. Bannie, suppose I came out and said a whole lot of things about you.
I tell you, say the Liberian media.
It will behoove upon me. It will behoove upon me to come to you, Jones. This is what you said about me. Can you prove it?
Exactly.
And not Chu-Chu to come and fight and fighting and killing everybody. This is where Liberian people went wrong.
The problem of our society here is certain people you're not entitled to share your opinion about them. That's it.
That's not an opinion. What you call steady fight.
That's still the man's opinion. If the man got the sources from Musu, if Musu told the man, he has a right.
Attorney and Jews.
What you doing?
Wait, okay.
Censorship is saying that somebody that what despots do to say, "Oh, you don't have evidence on this, so you can say."
Okay, listen.
Open society, people.
You know what you portray here, Anthony?
No.
You know what you portray here?
No.
You know what you portray here?
No.
Patrick Lumumba says, every village have its own thieves. So every village defend their own thief.
Exactly.
If Chu-Chu is talking about someone else's teeth, I don't have time. But as soon as he touches my teeth, oh no, you can't do that because I'm sucking out of my teeth.
Exactly.
No.
So
And
why
that's
you
the
proving?
problem, and I
Okay,
like
there
it
is a
because
communication. There is a communication. There's a
I
way
like it
of
because
communication.
you
I
know when
have
I
said
call
that
Agren people,
the
I call
reason why I
Agren
came on
media.
is not to defend Tiawan Gongloe, but we have.
But what you doing
Let me
now? You're
finish with
defending
Tiawan
him.
Gongloe by coming
We
on and
have.
saying
Listen to
that
me.
somebody
We
should
have a
provide
station to
evidence
manage.
in a public
Listen,
hearing.
I have
I'm defending
all
him.
reason to manage the station the way
Are
I
you?
think
Let me
it's being
ask you a
managed.
question. Are you supporter of Tiawan Gongloe?
I support Tiawan Gongloe for one reason.
Now I ask you the reason. Okay,
support
so
him.
because
No, but
all
no,
right,
no.
all right.
You ask a
all right,
question,
no,
I can tell you why I
let me-
support Tiawan
You're a
Gongloe.
lawyer, but maybe you understand. People
I
ask
said-
you question. I ask you why you support. I ask you why. I just ask you. Are you a supporter?
But there must be a rationale for your question, right? That what lawyer would
but
do.
you're gonna
What
say
is the
I can
rationale?
ask-
As so I'm
That's
going
what I
into
needed
your
to
mind
know.
to know why
And
you
now
ask the
it's
question.
justify why.
There are a yes and a no
And
to
you
a
run
question.
on
You
media.
can give.
That doesn't know the credibility
You
of your
have a
media.
right as
Now
an individual not to answer a
questionable.
yes or no question.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
why
a
you can't
democracy.
answer
You don't
yes
answer
or
yes or no question when you know very well you have a way to explain.
Okay.
The question here will tell you. The question here will tell you, Anthony.
I don't think we should spend
X,
much
Y,
time.
and Z, yes or no. You say yes. Then he has the right to ask you why.
What defense for? I can write.
So
I
when
can
say
go
yeah,
and
just
publish.
stop. I don't say
Listen,
anything.
tomorrow
Yeah, you
morning,
say
I can
yes,
go
and he will
publish
ask you.
what
Then
I
you
think
have
about
the right to
Tiawan Gongloe,
motion.
and
You have the right to
What I said
motion.
to you, when you're accusing someone of a grave allegation,
Not
crime,
someone. You're not talking about
war
someone yet.
crime
You are
is
yet
a major
defending Tiawan
issue.
Gongloe.
You said
Your
Tiawan
clan.
Gongloe formed the local defense force. It means Tiawan Gongloe was.
I said Nimba, don't say Lofa. We ain't had no Lofa defense.
Yeah, can we move on now? All right.
If you said
Tiawan Gongloe was part of the corrupt regime.
in forming
All right, let
the
move
Nimba
on.
defense force,
All right.
Okay, suppose we say. All right, suppose we say Tiawan Gongloe formed part of the corrupt regime. Will you say I should prove it? Tiawan Gongloe formed part of the corrupt regime.
To levy an allegation, it obligates anyone who
Tiawan Gongloe formed part of. He was in the government as a Solicitor General. He never put up by.
He was also Minister of Justice. He was acting Minister of Justice.
What did he do?
2006 to 2008. I'm reading it right here.
What's about the $7 to $8 million in the internal government that he was there? Who did he prosecute? Did he prosecute Amos Sawyer?
You can't create a station to support a politician.
I know that the government has a prosecuting arm. I know
yeah, but he was one of them.
Listen to me.
He was one of them.
He was a head
prosecutor. He was one of them.
He was a head. He was a chief prosecutor of the Republic of Liberia. And the government was 3 times more corrupt, according to my source, according to the Auditor General.
Oh my God!
You're going to say now that our evidence are providing that
these are the people that destroy Liberia.
Maybe we need to understand.
These are the people that are destroying Liberia. And Tony, let me be frank with you. We see the red and call it black. We see black and call it white, all because we eat it. This is wrong, Mr. Jensen.
Because
this is wrong, Mr. Jensen. You don't open a platform to support one person. Wrong. Liberian people are suffering because of this kind of behavior.
This is the reason why.
My poor people are suffering because of people like y'all.
This is the reason why.
That's the only reason why
you don't talk so and talk so.
And I'm glad that you all on this.
This is wrong. This is wrong, Anthony.
It is.
Let's talk so. We talk so.
No one is denying you the free speech. You have a free speech. You have a platform.
No, you're not giving a chance.
But then why you can't give us the opportunity to speak?
The person chance to speak.
Not because this is your platform.
Then you can come on and
you should have called me here because I will say it.
But you don't even
you
want to get
have called me here
because you don't want the public to even know.
You can tell me don't pass here, but you can't tell me don't say it here.
You know what you've done?
An
issue that was going to be very silent. You have brought a lot of light to it because tomorrow
that's
morning.
All. You know how many time we have spent?
Honestly, yeah, that's what I want.
You know how many time you spent interrupting us?
Because he don't want somebody that he support. Tiawan Gongloe. So what you just doing here now? Why you didn't interrupt yesterday?
You yourself were on the race. You drop out. We gave you all of the space. We did all of the promotion for you. Mr. Bannie is there. We did all of the promotion.
No, that's not robbery. Everybody was allowed to come on to it.
That was not wrong.
You didn't defend. You didn't.
That was not wrong.
Saying that you didn't do some good things. That two-way radio is not a better station than most of the corrupt media.
And I love two-way radio. Look, I love this show. I love it, man. I love it.
What you see is what we also see here is that nobody is above reproach.
Yeah, I love it. I love this show. Don't cut it off, man.
Even if you see
I love you guys. and listen
I
to
love
what
it.
Even if you see,
And I
even
will
if you
always
see
come back and I will say Tiawan Gongloe did this. That.
I agree.
even if
They
you
have
see
full right to
O
say
or
it.
CNN, it does not give you the right to
To
come
do what?
on, interrupt because of your
Oh
political
my
affiliation.
No. What
That
gives
is
me right
unprofessional.
is, listen to me, CNN, listen to me. There are editorial boards of CNN, BBC, or all big media
This is an
institutions.
opinionated
Listen to me.
show. This is an
Listen to
opinion. This is
me.
not
Listen to
news.
me. There are a few
This is
things that
not
will
news.
do. There are a few things that will do. They will either cut off the show
That's
or
not
they will
true.
let the show run.
That's not true.
Oh, so
Nowhere
what?
in any journalist
Nowhere they
people
have cut
interrupt
off
a show because somebody
CNN.
say,
I know for
brother
that
is
for
They
fact.
never
biased.
If
cut
you
off
know, I know that
CNN.
for fact. Every media institution is not. Every media institution can be sued and sue.
Nobody gonna
That's
sue
one
you
thing
for
people are
Alice
doing.
Jones' opinion.
Who told
This
you
show
that?
here,
Who told you that?
it's
You
not
can
true.
be sued.
Listen,
I can be
it's
sued,
on
or the
2A.
institution
That's
can
not
be
true.
sued.
You can have your show. We do not represent the views of 2A radio. It's
That's
Alice
not true.
Jones, Joe
That's
Bannie,
not true.
and the voice of reason.
They
That's
can
why there's a
sue Mr.
disclaimer.
Bannie, sue Ellis Jules,
That's
and then
not
they
true.
sue 2A
You're a
Radio.
lawyer.
Who
It
gave
looks
the
like I
platform to
think I
people
know
to
Well,
more
speak.
about the law.
sue me for what?
No, you don't know that. You don't know that. I mean, no disrespect, but I'm not
Okay,
sure
tell
you know what
Tiawan
you're talking
Gongloe
about.
to sue
Because
Alice Jones. Alice
To sue me for what?
said
For
that he
saying
know
that
he
he's
just
part
said
of
much.
the
He
he's part of a rebel group.
He thinks
Go
he's
tell
come on
Alice,
the platform.
go tell Tiawan
Go
Gongloe
and
can sue
go and
Alice Jones.
CNN and go and use a platform and insult and just malign
You
another
think
character.
CNN people
No,
don't
we are
insult
not
Trump on
insulting
CNN?
nobody. We
You
never
think
we
people,
didn't insult nobody.
do you think the things they say about Trump on CNN, you think there's facts in everything they say about Donald Trump on CNN or what they say about Joe Biden on Fox News? Then they will cut the station on every day. This is an opinionated show. This is not your news service. This is Alice Jones, Joe Biden, Voice of Reason. We have our freedom of speech and expression. And nobody can tell us, say, oh, you got to prove this
Your
or that.
voice of reason, when there are issues that I know you need to provide more clarity, there's nothing wrong. You guys provide
Yeah,
it.
but
And
then what you do is,
You wait, let the show be over. There are audience listening to
you
us.
meet with your electoral board, you meet with your electoral board, and then you come back.
There are people listening to us, Mr. Jensen. Let's respect our audience. Yeah, let's respect our audience.
Your station is
Let's respect our audience. I will talk for my people who are listening to me. Let's respect our audience.
Musa Ability Station. Why?
They kill their time to listen to us. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, Mr. Jones. Let's respect our audience.
Okay. Yes.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. When it's all over, you can call us in the room and ask us.
Exactly.
But we have just disrupted these people's time that they came to listen to us.
Sure.
We don't
That's the
do
reason why I
that.
came on.
So can you apologize to us and your viewers?
You have a chance to provide just my concern for which I came on the show.
Okay, you can call us on the next show for us to bring evidence.
You can
but let's give the people the value.
Everybody will talk about.
You don't have the evidence. I can't post you.
No, we'll bring evidence on everybody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, audience. I'm so sorry for the embarrassment and the interference of our boss. I'm sorry. I apologize on his behalf.
I deeply apologize because this is the same reason. You see, when I be calling the media and corrupt, people think that that's a cliche or I'm just joking. What's happening in Liberia is there are people who are deeply vested in the political system. They have a strong feeling towards a candidate, okay? And it's fine. But you can't do that at the same time and then claim to be the arbiter of information and freedom of expression and press. You can't be a journalist at the same time you want to be a supporter of a political fact.
You can't do that.
That's what's happening with all our media stations, from Rodney Saye to Chris Saye on what you call it, Truth FM. They're supporting Boaka or comments. So they get angry when anybody questions these people. Then you're not a professional journalist.
You are not.
If you want to be the person, spokesperson, you want to be the person surrogate, then what you do is you resign from your show, then you come out there and anybody who says anything about them, you confront them in the public square. But you can't be both. We're accusing BS. We're accusing the Liberian government and the press in Liberia, the national information minister, all are being biased towards the government. Why? Because they are there only to protect the government, not the people. You are here to protect Tiawan Gongloe and not the people who go on to go vote, who wants to know, who wants to gather information and make their own minds up and say, okay,
Yes.
This man said this thing about that person here, whether true or not. The other person said this thing about that person true or not. I can make up my own mind. You can't suppress information. People are intelligent enough to know. You don't have to get evidence to know that Prince Johnson is a warlord. Prince Johnson killed people, or Alice Comey is useless.
What I've said to you guys, look, you are raising an issue that Tiawan Gongloe is a former warlord. That's what you have done. So if you say Tiawan Gongloe is a former warlord on this show, provide evidence. That's what I keep saying. That's what I told you.
That he
so
was
if you
a
can't provide
member,
evidence, you don't have the evidence. You never call him a warlord. You have no proof about it. That means that would be the essence. And that
okay, what about Burma family?
Mr. Attorney,
you don't have
can
evidence.
sue you.
You're making false allegations. So in
Mr. Attorney,
is growing an image.
Mr. Attorney,
that one the man, that one politician got image.
Mr. Jensen,
Mr.
Jensen,
Mr. Jensen, will you
Mr. Jensen,
Mr. Jensen, for you,
Mr. Jensen, Mr. Jensen. No, listen, sir. Listen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Mr. Jensen.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, waiting.
I can sue you for misquoting me on public square. I can sue you.
He never called him a warlord.
I didn't say the man is a warlord. You laughing?
You can sue me for being a warlord?
Yes, you are warlord, right? You are misquoting me and putting me in more trouble, according to what you say.
So if you said
I said he was one of the organizers. He was one of the organizers. He was one of the organizers of a rebel force. I didn't say he's a warlord.
What does that mean? Oh, but if he was one of those who organized the Nima Defense Force,
he is not a warlord.
Organized the National Patriotic Front.
So are you saying everyone that organized? So everyone who support their warlord
are leaders of the militia group.
One of the warlords. That's what you say.
Okay, can I ask you another question? You didn't address it. Can I ask you? I said here, and I will defend my statement, that each Burma family, who happens to be the former Senate bearer of Tiawan Gongloe's party, who happens to be a friend and supporter of Tiawan Gongloe political ideas, is a warlord. And Tiawan Gongloe has supported, defended each Burma family. Will you disagree with me on that?
So who is he?
Does that suggest that he's a warlord? He's an organizer?
Yes, he is a warlord according to the truth and
if he's going to punish George Weah, he's talking about punishing George Weah.
His Burma family, I can play the tape here right now. In his own testimony, he talked about how he gathered soldiers at the border of Sierra Leone and he brought them to Liberia to fight Charles Taylor.
Let me just say, the crime is not transferable. If I myself here, right, there are individuals in Liberia, we know them, we have interacted with them somewhere, somehow, it in no way link us to their actions or their inactions as a result.
No, but I told you, as a political party leader, H. Burma family ran in the last election for president of Liberia.
Right.
Tiawan Gongloe is a standing member in that political party. He's not just.
So what does that suggest? What does that suggest?
That Tiawan Gongloe supported a warlord for president of Liberia.
You see, and that's the wrong that you all doing.
H. Burma family is a warlord. He himself claimed to be a warlord. He ran on the LPP party, and Tiawan Gongloe supported him. And Tiawan Gongloe is a member of that party.
What the Constitution of Liberia gave everyone the right to associate. No, I know you're not going to hear it because these are the half facts now. The association is a right of everyone to associate with whatever group.
Yeah, but that always seems.
And equally so, the Constitution gave us the right to say anything we want to say and to bear responsibility.
Not just anything. You are
yes, anything but bear responsibility of the anything
of the abuse thereof. Yes, and that's the reason why for me.
That's what I'm saying.
The man is invading the question. Burma family, Tiawan Gongloe party. The former head of it is a warlord in Liberia. He contributed to that.
That means Tiawan Gongloe is a warlord.
No, what it means is Tiawan Gongloe morals are questionable because Tiawan Gongloe endorsed.
Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
Is a warlord. Yeah. If you hear Jensen, you go and join Prince Johnson party.
You go.
You very well that Prince Johnson was a warlord.
If I support drug dealers coming to Liberia, what will you do?
I say you.
If I'm an accomplice.
You're a member.
If I'm an accomplice,
member of his party, you are promoting the LPP party by promoting Tiawan Gongloe and LPP.
There's one thing. Let me get the information with just what you said. Right? Every political party is run on the basis of an executive committee that takes a vote. So let's assume Jensen is a member of a political party that Prince Johnson was endorsed to become a standard bearer of that party. And the executive committee of that party took a major decision to allow Prince Johnson to get in there. And I'm a member of the political party. Will you tell me that Jim Jensen I'm supporting warlord?
If you stay there, because you have the right
Yeah.
to resign.
So
Hold on, that's a question.
You are supporting a destroyer of Liberia. You are supporting. Look,
because a big part of this show
man.
is about the big part of this show here is about the leaders, the ethics, and the morals. Okay, these are people who are criticizing other people and telling them they are corrupt. They don't have any evidence. If you are part of a political party or any institutions, you have a conscience and you have a moral to do the right thing. And if the party decides to go in the wrong direction, you as a leader, you have the right to resign. Just the way how when Trump decided and was doing certain things, the Attorney General resigned.
Right. He has
That's
a right
what
to
makes
resign.
you a
That's
leader.
True. He has a right to resign. Yeah, that's true.
So
Why
Tiawan
did he
never
resign?
resigned. Exactly. He never resigned when Burma Formula, the warlord, became the center bearer of his party. He never had any public disagreement about it, and he stayed there and supported it. Then how can I look at a man like Tiawan Gongloe that tells me he's going to be able to fight corruption when corruption is right in his party? He can't fight it.
Right. So that's what make your analysis being, sorry to say, a little what do I say?
Because you don't know what to say. Because you have nothing to say.
No, I have it. There's a little faulty. You know, I want to be
gotta
very
redo that. Know it. We're gonna redo the Tiawan Gongloe again
so
because
they're not gonna get away. Like some show where we're insulting you people here, right? So
nobody insulting anyone. Nobody insulting anyone.
No,
when we came in here,
I will not insult nobody.
Very good. You're not listening. I did not say you probably you were wondering why I took a break to carefully select my words to attribute it to you.
Okay, all right.
So he feels I'm out of words. That's what he's thinking. So I'm just telling him that look, I'm not out of words. I'm just being a little careful. I don't want to utter words that will insult him. That's what I said. Because I want to be more intelligent, even with my disagreement, so that you guys can be respectful.
You have a right to insult me. People insult me all the time.
Even when you say that Jensen insult me, I wouldn't insult you. That's not my
as
nature.
A public figure and as an intellectual, I expect people to have a disagreement. I expect people to
insult me. Not the insult.
They're free to insult me. What would I care?
We are not insulting. We're not insulting.
No, guys, you guys are missing the point. The issue is not whether Jensen is going to insult you or not insult you.
Okay. The point is you want to be careful.
I was choosing my words so that I can better attribute it to you. Okay. Because of my respect for you guys. Even the agreement doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect you guys.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
That's the point.
But when you interrupt us, you disrupt our show.
It's not interruption. I told you already why I came on the show.
And I will sue you.
For that respect for us. We took our time.
I respect you. I mean,
educated Liberian people. And you interrupt. So we'll have to do Tiawan Gongloe, or maybe tomorrow we'll go to somebody else that Jensen does not support.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, that would be good for you guys.
So tomorrow
maybe when I know about it, I will get on our show and I will also challenge you guys to provide
now you want to do
more research, send me the information. I will publish it for you guys.
But what yesterday we see you?
No, because maybe for whatever reason this one caught my attention. I'm basing myself,
Jason,
right?
when you already admitted that you're a supporter of Tiawan Gongloe, all right?
No, you didn't get the right.
That means that you have
Listen to me. No. You all are missing it. I have said on this show repeatedly that this election, there are few good candidates in this election. And I have no doubt to say that Tiawan Gongloe is one of those. I have said it.
So you have a bias. Your faculty have told you that Tiawan Gongloe is one of the good ones. So therefore, you stand up for him.
More reasoning and the community.
But that's your opinion. That's not an opinion. That's not an opinion of Mr. Bannie, Alice Jones, or much of Liberia. That's your personal opinion.
No Liberian beside the two of you right now who will say,
okay, then we're electing. If Liberia feels the way you feel about Tiawan Gongloe, then Tiawan Gongloe will be the next president.
No.
So are you saying
Liberians agree with you?
No. Don't get that. Don't get it wrong. Besides Tiawan Gongloe being in the race, or I see him as the right person or the clean person, one of those things, does not necessarily mean that you're going to be president.
Sir, I'm on the show, man.
The process that he will have to be endorsed and considered by the people of Liberia. It's not because Jensen says it.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. So, like I said,
I can't hear myself, man. Somebody have messed me up.
So Jensen,
you have to check your line.
Somebody had called and cut back. I can't even hear you on that.
Tiawan Gongloe was at the Ministry of Labor. According to people who work there, and according to statistics of the Ministry of Labor, I'm here. I'm a business economist. This is what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
I review the Liberian records of employment, the data
Right.
on Tiawan Gongloe, going back all the way on Charles Taylor, and to say the least, it was embarrassing. Because the one job the Ministry of Labor needs to do is statistics. So here's a man who are over that. Today, Liberia, they can't even recall, they can't even calculate the unemployment rate accurately. So they tell the people that you will have 2%, 5% unemployment rate. How is Tiawan Gongloe not responsible for that kind of incompetence? Why should we take a
Very
man?
good. You want me to?
Yes, please.
I guess a question to me. Very good.
That's a question.
You see, the governance process, most of us, I'm sorry to say, I don't think we understand what governance is all about. We all talk on these shows or talk publicly, we write articles and all of those stuff, but I'm not sure we understand. The Ministry of Labor, Tiawan Gongloe indeed was a Minister of Labor. He was responsible.
I say he was.
I didn't say, what did I say? I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just stating what you said. Tiawan Gongloe was indeed Minister of Labor. I know that for a fact. All right. But you are now attributing the general unemployment of Liberia to be one of those results of Tiawan Gongloe's failure at the Ministry of Labor. Now, when
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, my voice is very low. Somebody just interrupted me.
Sometimes in the public sphere, people will just want you to be more convincing to say, why are you saying this? Now, I would have believed that if Tiawan Gongloe served as Tiawan Gongloe did serve as Minister of Labor, you would have had a cogent analytical statistics or making wider allegation that Tiawan Gongloe.
This is not allegation. This is facts. Liberia has not been able to calculate the unemployment record. This is facts.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Tiawan Gongloe was a minister.
I have no facts. Listen to me.
No, hold on. Like I said, it's supported. This is. You can go right now to the what you call the Ministry of Labor website. You can go back and Google back into 2007 when Tiawan Gongloe was there. What I'm saying here is this: many Liberians do not know the function of the Ministry of Labor, including Tiawan Gongloe. So Tiawan Gongloe think that the Ministry of Labor, hold on now, that the Ministry of Labor is a legal entity that you're supposed to be there to give people permits. Because I've listened to him. When a Ministry of Labor job and it's in you go in the budget, you'll see the description. It tells you statistics, employment, and all that stuff for the Ministry of Labor. Liberia has a problem with unemployment. They did all along. That one of the worst problem. We don't even have a database to know who's unemployed, what's the age group. Tiawan Gongloe was minister for a few years. He didn't do none of those things. Just come out today and say you increase the work permit for 11 men for $600 to $1,000. That's like saying you're the Secretary of State of a nation, and what you did is you provided coffee to the employees. That's why it's tantamount, because that's not the purpose of that organization.
So
in a country where people
you think in your own mind. You see, this is where sometimes when you talk, I will think you should be able to provide more information, right? The Ministry of Labor, even Tiawan Gongloe, I'm not supporting him on this matter because I have no facts about what you said. That's why sometimes
I can provide the facts right now. I can give you the facts that Liberia says that the unemployment rate is 6%.
Okay, so if the unemployment rate is 6%, the factors that are responsible for the unemployment rate, what are they? Are you telling me that Tiawan Gongloe, as a Minister of Labor, during those years, are attributing factor of the unemployment rate? Even with employment you're talking about, there are institutions in Liberia that are dealing with employment of Liberians. It's not just the Ministry of Labor. I'm sure you are aware of the General Services Agency. I'm sure you are aware.
The General Service Agency has nothing to do with calculating unemployment rate.
It's not about just
have nothing to do
generally.
No. You see, and like I said, the problem here is in Liberia, we don't respect what you call subject matter expertise. Like I'm telling you, this is something that I get paid to do. This is my expertise. Just the way how you're a lawyer. I have to look at unemployment rates every day to make financial decisions for me, my clients. So I go on the Ministry of Labor to know what the unemployment rate is, what the producer index are, so that people can make decisions. In Liberia, you don't have that. On Tiawan Gongloe, you never had that. So, why justify it? Why can't we just learn from our mistakes? Yeah, Tiawan Gongloe may be a good human rights lawyer and a good politician, but he sucked as a Minister of Labor. He was incompetent.
So to say that, and that's what I will happen with you, to say that, even though I don't know Tiawan Gongloe, but these are the things that I know about him, right? So you said here you want us to you want to convince us that under Tiawan Gongloe side of the Minister of Labor doing nothing. That's the picture you're putting to us,
like
right?
I said.
So the 6% rate.
Okay, like I said, I never said he did nothing. It will be seen that Josh Weah. It will be seen that Josh Weah is done nothing as president.
Okay.
But so rationally speaking, okay, hold on now.
Yeah.
Rationally speaking, can you tell me that the purpose for which Josh Weah was that he campaigned for, okay, in terms of providing millions of jobs, improving equality, healthcare, will you tell me that Josh Weah has met the minimum standard for which he himself campaigned for? And I will ask the same question to Tiawan Gongloe as Minister of Labor.
You see, the way you wanted to proceed, I don't want you to go out of your topic, right? As I said, I can discuss George Weah, I can discuss my little understanding. Even if I were to discuss George Weah, I wouldn't do it in a vague manner, right? But I could name few things that I know George Weah has not met, and as a result of that, that's a failure. I can tell you few reasons why.
I'm not talking about the things that Tiawan Gongloe achieved. I'm telling you the things for which he was paid for.
So the issue here is the issue for which I came here for was that when you all come on these kind of shows, it's better. And you don't have to take it from me, but it's better that even some of us maybe get some pieces of information, right, and provide information to us, educate us. We don't know. Primarily, I have told you guys when I heard Mr. Bannie, listen. Yeah, when I heard, I did type before I even came out, I typed something. I think I saw you reading into that. Tiawan Gongloe, if he's saying he's a warlord, and you don't want me to say those things. You want me to say Tiawan Gongloe helped to form the Nimba Defense Force, right? That's what you want me to say. But if he even said that, analysis would be if he actually formed the Nimba Defense Force, like those who formed the
I don't want to go down that road again.
Force.
I think we exhausted that. Let's go back to the meat of the issue where we're talking about Tiawan Gongloe capabilities.
Tiawan Gongloe is capable. If you want me to say that to you, I think he's one of those individuals. There are a few individuals who are in a race. They are qualified, and I think Tiawan Gongloe is.
But we're now talking about generalities. The purpose of this show is to dissect the four major political party leaders and educate the Liberian people what we think who they are. The things that the media, the questions. No, we have our show. You asked me to provide evidence to you, and on the screen, I will give you evidence here. 2006, Liberia reported an unemployment rate of 2.2%. Tiawan Gongloe was the Minister of Labor 2006. Okay, is that number? The only place that number will come from is the Liberian government. So you ask for information, I'll give you you ask the evidence.
Can you put me back on, please?
I'm not making a story yet. You want to tell me that in Liberia, that only 2%, 2.2% of 2006 are people who want to work and are willing to work, don't have jobs? That information there in any country is the most important information of an economy, the unemployment rate. In fact, when the unemployment rate is announced in the United States, the whole economy, all the banks around the world, everybody's hot until the Labor Department issue that number 830 every month. Tiawan Gongloe doesn't know that. That's not his area. You know,
So
the
who's
thing
to
here,
be
they
minister in Liberia?
find expertise here where we think that because somebody is a lawyer, so they can be an economist, they can be a business. It's what hurting us in that country. So that means they can be a president because you're a good person, or because you're a human rights lawyer. The same with Cummings, we said yesterday. You can be a very effective CEO, as in America, and be a horrible public servant. We saw that with many people. We saw that with what a man named in Michigan with the water. Florida governor.
So by that saying, are you saying we should not? Nobody should put forth their interest in becoming president of Liberia? Is that what you're suggesting?
No, that's
So
not everybody.
when people
To answer the
decide,
question, I got you're going away from what we, like I said, I sorry I interrupted you, but you're going away from what we're trying to achieve here. We're not saying that Tiawan, Gongloe, or anybody else does not have the right to come and go for the office. When you apply for a job,
no, Mr. Chu-Chu, just a second. You said the heading you have here, you are saying why you think Tiawan Gongloe should not be president.
Yes,
that's the heading.
And I'm giving you facts.
I'm reading here.
One is
so
he does
if you
not
say that,
understand
then you bring
basic
issue that you're taking 4% to discuss and other stuff. You are going far away from your topic.
The format here, we agree. Yesterday, we discussed national general issues with regard to election. Today, what we decided to do is to take the 4 major political parties that our press people are so incompetent to ask them these kind of questions.
These are desperate generalizations. The press people are so incompetent. Who make you competent before you discuss other people?
I'm not saying I'm competent as a journalist. I'm not a journalist, but
yeah,
I'm competent.
Listen, the entire journalism profession in the country, they are incompetent.
Why you make a
generalization?
Let me finish.
It's like saying nobody in that country is competent to do anything.
No, let me tell you something. If I was a journalist, if I go into the journalism field as a practitioner, all right, the one thing I would want to do is I will look at international journalists, I will look at successful journalists and see the kind of research they do, the kind of questions that they ask candidates. You go to these different platforms and see how they interview candidates.
I agree with you. There are some folks who have problems, right? The media landscape.
I haven't seen any.
No, you say, that's the problem I have with you. That's the problem I have with you. You can't get
so you tell me now. You give me the evidence. I'm making a statement. Like I said, I seem to be correct. I'm making a statement.
Someone must counter your statement. Your statement is not right.
I'm making a statement from my own experience and from what let me make this last point here. That I have been in Liberian politics. I've been seeing Liberian media. I know all that. I read Liberian newspaper. I watch the interviews with all the interviews with the candidates, and I can tell you, I have yet to find one, okay, that is professional, substantive, that are asking economic, political, social, international questions with specifics.
Okay.
If you know of one, and you know of an interview, by any journalist in Liberia that is going to look at and say, okay, you corporate America, you want to come into politics, let's look at your corporate history. Then look at your performance. Show me the record and have done the research. Please come and tell me. You cannot go into a field and don't want to exert yourself.
My concern to you here, all right? Even you will sit there, you have your positives and your negatives, right? Aspect even the professional line that you want to trend. Right, so if you are condemning all of the media institutions,
it's not condemnation. It's analysis. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. It's analysis.
Your analysis. That's why your analysis points to. You make your analysis. Listen.
I'm an analyst. This is my job. My job is to
I'm not doubting what you're saying, right? But when you make 40 analysis,
please. I just coming on.
Show me the journalist. Like I said, show me the journalist and show me the interview. That
can I come in, please?
An interview. Go ahead, Mr.
All that I can tell you is that
Mr. Jensen,
just a second, Mr. Bannie. In the Liberian media landscape, there are individuals who are educated, who are prepared, who have helped with the Liberian media landscape. Even if they are not up to 100%, you cannot come on the platform and condemn the Liberian media in totality. That's the issue I have with you.
Okay, can I come in, please?
Yeah, you can come in, Mr. Bannie.
Okay, I mean about 15 to 20 minutes I was out.
Yes, please come in.
Gentlemen, the first place, again, I want to reiterate an apology to our audience. If this is public, if this is in public view, we did not do these people any good, any good service.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's
You don't provide
admit,
evidence with allegations.
listen, sir, please. I know
Okay,
I'm on your show and you have every right to
no,
cut
forget
me
about
off.
that. Forget about that. That's not
But
the
this
case. You
is
have
not right.
all right. You have
These
all right,
people,
Mr. Bannie.
these people spend their time and they want to build interest into what we think we know. Then for us to come here and argue and argue and argue, we waste the people time. And I'm not saying this to make myself look good, but to be a good person, I say, look, let's forget it, let's cut it off, plan a good program for next time. And I will also advise, send off word to my audience. Please, we're sorry for the embarrassment. And
Is
on
that your
behalf
closing
of the
comment?
team, on behalf of the team, I want to apologize. Please come back. Don't forsake us. We got good things in store for you. Thank
So
you.
Jason,
So I
thank you,
think we
Mr.
need to cut
Bannie,
it off.
and my deepest apology
We
as
need to
well.
cut it off.
Okay.
We can't come
Let-
here
let-
and
let-
be arguing. And I
And
think,
and
please,
and
let's
let's
go
move
if
behind
that's a
on.
closed
closing
door
comment,
and fix
if
this.
that if that's a closing comment, I will also say that look, Liberia is at a crossroad. Liberia is looking for a leader. In the process of that, when those who take upon themselves, like Mr. Bannie, the Chu-Chu who have withdrawn from the race, and many others, when they put their names out there for anyone to see them and vote for them, it is appropriate that anyone who wants to challenge those persons must provide a high evidence, especially so when you're
But then
talking
that's not a
about
democratic
war
process.
crimes. War crimes, they are major allegations, right? Somebody will say, well, let us go. I mean, people said it, and so I would believe it. If somebody says something about you, Mr. Bannie, and I held onto that without even waiting to know what you all are educated people.
Then
You know how you
it behoove upon me to clear the
Mhm.
doubts.
Exactly.
Okay, so first and
It behoove
foremost,
upon me to come out to the public and say what Mr. Jensen is saying about me is wrong.
it's not true, right?
Exactly.
It's not
But
true.
if I
So
just keep
while we are
quiet,
here,
it means that
that's why I
silence
said
means consent.
Okay.
very,
Let me,
very
Mr.
good.
Jensen,
So
you raised another point. I do not go out and spread blanket statement or anything. I'm very, very
I think we
cautious.
need to just call it up. We can discuss it behind
No,
closed doors,
let's
gentlemen.
discuss something else.
Yeah, let's
Because, like I
discuss it
said,
behind closed door. Yeah, let's do
the
this.
fact,
Let's
no,
wrap this.
I don't want to address something completely different.
Oh, okay,
about
we
the
can
media.
talk about something else, but
Yeah,
our audience are already discouraged.
yeah. I want to point out something about it.
no, they are not
Something
discouraged. They're
completely
just
different
listening
about the
to know
media
why it
because this
is.
man's a media
Let me see
executive.
what some of the comments
All
they're
right.
making here.
Let me tell you, you know a good journalist in Liberia, Mr. Jensen. So for you to understand that I just don't go and say every Liberian journalist. I usually name the ones that I have found to be very, very belligerent, inconsistent, corrupt. Let me tell you a good journalist in Liberia. You know Daniel Rogers examining Liberia under the microscope? In my opinion, he's one of the best journalists Liberia have had. You know who's the worst? Rodney Saye.
You see, and
Okay?
that's why, it's
And I'm
easy
telling
to
you for
sit
evidence,
agencies.
the fact that a journalist will also serve the dual role, okay, as a political leader advisor. I have text message from Rodney Saye to Alice Cummings. I published on Front Page Africa. I started publishing on Front Page Africa over 10 years ago. I sent
So,
article to
you know why?
So when I
You
see
may
those
have,
kinds of things, hold on, let me finish. When I finish, you have the flow. Okay?
okay.
It's my responsibility as a Liberian to say this is wrong public. Let's change it. Let's not see bad. We're talking about Borga yesterday. Let's not see bad in society because we have this favoritism for this person or we don't want to see this person. Let the idea of politics is scrutiny. And the media is the entity, the fourth estate. It is the job to scrutinize Alice Jones, to scrutinize Joseph Bannie, to check into
I
his
agree.
record.
I agree.
And they do not do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I don't have doubt with what you said. Scrutiny is the best way for men to know about other people and what other stuff. But all
Yes,
I've
no, but
said
not
to you
everybody.
guys,
These are not private individuals. Burma Formula
yeah,
is
but
not a private individual.
listen. Burma Formula is not in the race right now, right? You won't go
It
into the
doesn't
race.
matter, but he's
You
a
come up
public figure.
and listen to me now.
Forget the fact of Burma. You see what I'm
Hey,
saying? Y'all want
listen now.
to narrow it. Y'all want to
No,
give
you
them
narrow it
narrative.
now. You came here. Your topic. You're heading in here. Anybody who comes first, the first thing they want to say, what are people discussing?
Listen,
What
so
they're
for so you
discussing,
don't know what
they
we're
are
seeing here
saying,
is we organize our show. Just the way you got your show, you got your program, you organize it the way you want. When we finish with the political leader, we'll go on the media. We'll start with Jensen. We'll go to Dave Jar. We'll go to Rodney Saye, because these are people who their position is important and critical to the democratic process. You can have no democracy if you don't have a transparent media entity. You are joking.
okay.
So that's what I'm
So
trying to
all for
tell
me,
you. I'm not.
so all for me, what I've said to you,
Rodney Saye wants to challenge the fact that he isn't personally advising and
okay,
supporting.
this is not
any
about running
school.
Saye, you see,
Take me to
because
court.
we would have loved for you and running Saye to sit down on this show and you condemn him,
You
say
think
all you
Rodney
want to say
Saye don't
about
know
him.
better? Do you think any one of those Muppets will be able to come and sit down with me and to have a discussion?
Well, whether
Really?
you call them Mopper, whether you believe, I think Rodney Saye
No,
he can
Jason,
write.
really?
I see no reason.
I would relish the idea. Let Rodney Saye come on any show or anybody I ever talk about. I'm not one of those people who don't go and get black and
Yeah,
statement.
so that's what I'm
If
saying.
I tell you
So
say
it's
corrupt,
just prudent. It's just prudent enough to have had him here. I don't think they showed up about Rodney
he
Saye,
doesn't
right?
do that because why? It's not important to him. We don't respect the public. We don't respect the voters. The media people want to decide this is a guy we like, and so we'll promote this guy. That's dangerous for the country.
Okay, may I ask a question?
We got to where we got to today.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
For the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay. You supporting you talking for Mr. Gongloe. My question is
No, you don't get it right.
Okay.
I have said
okay, you're not talking for Gongloe. I accept it. I'm sorry. I take it back.
So, no, but this is not right?
I'll take it back.
You can't be ashamed of who you
I'll take it back. Let me ask question.
No.
Let me ask a question, please.
You ask the question first. I'm addressing it. You
don't want me to say that was not a question. Okay, my question is: if Tiawan Gongloe become president coming October the 10th, right. If he become president and is sworn in January, will Tiawan Gongloe punish any warlords?
That's a good question. That's my question. Yeah, you're right. That's a very good question. And myself, as much as I see all of those people, the question you ask is concerning, right? And I think some of you guys who are interviewed, we might have asked similar questions in a formal manner. You want to be president. If you become president, are you going to do A, B, C, D? And of course,
that's my question.
That's what I'm saying. I will say, I will believe that he will.
It's not on the man. It's not on his manifesto. I'm reading the man manifesto yet.
No, that's not everything that a man will do will be on the manifesto.
But do you think
that's my question. That's my question. Please answer it. Let the man address my question.
Chu-Chu, can you give me a chance to address the man question?
Go ahead,
Mr. Bannie.
Yes.
Governance is an eye, right?
Will this man punish? Yes or no?
Mr. Bannie, you're not being fair to me now. Because
but I mean, I just asked you
Mr. Bannie, this man you see here, so he don't just get and say yes and he end his statement. If I say yes, I have all reason why I say yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I have all reason why I say no.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If you ask the question whether Tiawan Gongloe becoming president, he can audit the central government.
No, will he punish?
Yeah, listen now.
Will he punish warlords?
Mr. Bannie, can you give me genuine land?
Will he punish warlord? Yes or no?
You don't want me to say yes or no. I will not do that.
Then I will tell you why.
Because the reason why he hasn't put that on his campaign, because that means he has to prosecute Burma family. And I want to see the day where Tiawan Gongloe.
That would be my expectation. My expectation is that whoever becomes president, including Tiawan Gongloe, he will ensure a systematic audit.
How do you know that?
Listen to me now. Oh, you can listen to me.
But I'm asking you a question. How do you know
will
that?
ensure that the TRC report is prioritized. He will ensure that the young people in Liberia unemployment is tackled.
And you know how to
look. You're not here to promote the man. I just asked you one question, man.
I have answered you.
Will he punish a warlord? I mean, you don't have to go to TRC.
Yes, I'm believing that he will do.
You don't have to go to TRC to know who the warlords are. They're already there.
Okay. No, we don't know. You naming somebody that Tiawan Gongloe is a warlord. That's the only rationale you want to ask.
We're not going to go to. Now, listen. TRC's mandate that their confession. We're not going to take it against the people, but we know them. Can we prosecute, or will he be able to bring someone to justice and prosecute?
I believe unto the contrary that
there's
he was
no evidence. There's no evidence to suggest.
So that the question you asked, you want me to just say yes or no? I believe he will do. And I believe that few other persons too, if they become president,
they may answer his question.
Okay.
I will tell you emphatically no.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
And I will tell you
if he says so, I agree with you.
You will not
and I hope he does.
I believe
why you will not do it.
Tiawan Gongloe can do better.
Let me tell you why you will not do it, and why people at Tiawan Gongloe should never be elected. Go to his website. Okay, the one thing lawyers know how to do or should know how to do is write. Okay, if you look at Tiawan Gongloe playing for Liberia, okay, it looks like somebody in high school that running for high school president. He talks nothing about the economy. He talks nothing that the question you're asking today about it right again. You asking for my evidence, put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen so you can go through it. This is a country with the worst economy right now, with all the problems, healthcare. Yeah, Tiawan Gongloe playing. Right there, playing for Liberia, right?
Right.
He said for corruption, one paragraph, right? That's it.
For corruption.
For sports and culture, 2 paragraphs, right? That's it. Nothing on economy, nothing on health, nothing on social service.
They don't tell you. They don't tell you how they're going to do it.
So let me tell you
one. It's all about who he is, what he done, the play he went, and the degree he got.
So, Mr. Bannie, as an intellectual person, right? Just the way when you're going to employ somebody,
right?
You check their past history, where they work, what they've done. That's the question you ask. Where have they achieved? Okay, and what would they do if they take the position? Looking at this man's website, okay. Let's say I didn't know Tiawan Gongloe, and I just came to Liberia, and I want to look at what people, the platforms or whatever, and make my decision. That's why I would take to say that this man, who claims to have been, in several government, former minister, solicitor general, and there's nothing on this here, even about TRC, even about, like you said, the main point is corruption. He doesn't have any record of prosecuting any corrupt officials.
No, okay. And he worked among them.
Jensen wants to convince me here. Jensen wanted. So the man said, "This is what the man said he would do. This is what Tiawan Gongloe said he would do it on your website." Then we in Liberia now. We want to say no, you will not do what he said you do. You will do youth thing. He talk about how much you will put into youth. He talk about any youth program. These are simple things.
You see. I don't know whether
you can't run a campaign.
You wanted to be president, right? Chu-Chu.
You even highlight your agenda.
Chu-Chu. You wanted to be president, right?
I am going to be president.
Listen, no, you wanted to be president.
But that's not the discussion here right now.
It is.
And that's not the discussion here. We're talking about Tiawan Gongloe plan. This is Tiawan Gongloe plan. Why you want to change the man plan and tell us what he's not going to do?
What he's not going to do and what he will do? Are you here to
because I understand the structural consideration of a government. A government that is formed.
We have more stuff and more ideas, okay, than what Tiawan Gongloe put in order.
Can you imagine that? Are you serious?
Joshua,
I get no argument with you, Chu-Chu. I mean, honestly, I get no argument.
I say when it comes to Joshua, then nothing is good.
No, I'm not even going to argue with you.
But you see, that's the point about these journalists. Like you say, every one of them have another person that they're promoting.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to have your platform just to promote somebody, I don't think you're trying to be fair to the other people.
This is not. It would not be fair if you said that, Mr. Bannie.
I'll be fair.
Come on the
I
show,
feel
yeah,
you
you
will
want to
have
be
a better
president.
chance.
But when Joy we are does not have no plan, but only Tiawan Gongloe.
Listen, Bannie. Listen, Bannie. That bro
I
will
mean,
have a
Joy
better
we
chance.
has no good plan.
Listen.
Only Tiawan Gongloe has good
Who
plan.
said that? Who said that?
You.
Did I want to say, Mr. Bannie?
Well, 50-50. Mr. Chu-Chu just said that no, Chu-Chu just said that Joy we have good plan even more than the you condemning them.
No,
The problem with Joy we is because you know
if it is Joy we is nothing. But if Gongloe, yes.
No. George
So you
is imprudent. No, you're not getting it right.
Joy we are
So you
said,
ask me honestly, I will tell you.
the man is still fighting for the position.
If you ask me, George Weah should not be president come the 2022. Why do I say that? Give me, yeah. I want to just hit your
the
know. So you will know how to think.
We get a Joy we are this. Joy we will have this. Where we discuss
do I stand to the point
get
where
a chance to discuss
Gongloe is a winner person to run
Liberia?
That's not what I think.
Just keep there and spoil everything.
Liberians are looking at issues and discussing the issues.
But we are organized here, Jensen. We got a special day for George Weah where we'll go to his website, where we'll check what group he supported,
you said Tiawan Gongloe is a warlord. So all I wanted to do is to prove it and provide some high evidence. It's not sufficient to say that man form warlords.
I do it too, Jensen. That
was a very serious point that
media
you
people,
you're making a heading, and I just thought it should not go on.
But when you say Prince Johnson is a warlord, when you say Prince Johnson is a warlord, there no proof of that, right? Prince Johnson is a warlord.
There's evidence, there's videos around, there's commentaries, there are a lot of things out there you can pick up and say.
Okay, what about Bannie Ure? What about Bannie Ure? Bannie Ure is a warlord.
Bannie Ure, from all that we know, Bannie Ure was involved in the Cllr war. So
do you have evidence? Do you have any hard evidence?
Do you have any hard evidence?
There's a lot of evidence around.
But
no, show me the evidence you have. Show me the evidence
when I said another team prepared. Listen to me. If you're talking about Bannie Ure being a warlord, Bannie Ure role played in the Cllr's government is of no secret to anybody in Liberia. No secret to anybody.
Okay, with Tiawan Gongloe role play.
Now you believe that there are things that are not secret in Liberian culture when it comes to Bannie Ure, even though there's no hard evidence, there's no evidence.
Man,
but when it comes to
that's so.
When it comes to Tiawan Gongloe, everything is disrupted our program.
I didn't want you to leave a story that is not.
I'm gonna be the champion until I get to the bottom of it, where all your journalists will ask Tiawan Gongloe that question: did he ever affiliate, support, or donate to Nima Defense Force?
To Nima
Defense Force. But you cannot be conclusive.
I am not going to rest.
That's the problem. I like the way you put it right now.
Like
unlike what you put at the top of your program today.
I'm not going
to rest. We will bring it.
I see an interview.
I was not the only one who listened to that. I know there are a lot of Liberians out there who listen to it and can
what I will do for you guys. Listen, maybe what I will do because of that, I may contact your Gongloe team to see what I can pay
Not team. I don't want no team. I want himself.
Let me show you. I got my own media.
I don't want no team. I want Tiawan Gongloe himself.
I'm not going to create a media, right?
No, I don't want no team.
It's a magazine. I have a magazine.
Okay. Yeah, no problem with that.
I have the right to magazine.
If I have to debate Tiawan Gongloe, I want himself, not his team. Because like you are one of his team. You always back him.
You want to bring the man? You want to bring the man circumference?
Bring himself. I want himself.
I want to talk to journalists.
I want him on the dance floor, not anyone that who knows him or not even his family member.
We probably don't have no
Mr. Bannie, on the show provided evidence. You provide real evidence that they won't go to organized war.
Let the man come on the floor. Let the man come on the floor.
Evidence that the man was incompetent as minister.
Let the man come on the floor.
Why you pose exam? It shows nothing about
him. Bring him on the floor.
The evidence are there where
make analysis as to what the
when you talk about Joy Weah, it's okay.
I'm looking.
When you talk about Alexander Comey, it's okay. When you talk about JNB, it's okay.
Johnson self-admitted, okay, that one of her administration, when it came to employment, when it came to statistics and stuff, they did a horrible job. Even herself admitted it.
Provide a piece of information. I will be.
New York Times interview at the Black Palace Hotel. Go look it up in Google.
Okay. So just provide it. I mean, I'll be glad.
So
What can
that
I say?
everything people
I
say,
read
yeah,
this
they
thing.
got to
The
bring
thing about it
evidence.
is,
That
I
would be the
read the thing
most
about it is, our
intelligent
journalists,
and the
man.
better
You
way
should
to
know
have a
this.
discussion.
Ellen
I want to
Johnson
see.
conducted a
Don't be that the people in the street
post-presidential.
who
Listen
just
to me.
talk things
I'll
about
give
Jim
you, I'll
Banning
give
and
you
they go
this.
their
I'll give
way.
you this source.
You
I'll
come on
give
the
you this source.
platform, at least the best we expect of you, you must have some way of providing evidence. This is a very serious issue. It's a one going to organize a warlord, defense force. That's a very serious issue, right?
Yes, but I can defend
Why don't
myself.
you provide evidence? Why don't you
I
provide
will defend
evidence?
myself.
You provide evidence, I will publish it. I don't have to.
I will defend myself. I
So
defend myself.
don't just throw things out there. I mean,
And I got a right to say.
You want to be a president, Mr. Bannie, you have
I have the right to, but yeah, that's what I want to do.
High level of intelligence, so we just ask you to do the right thing.
Oh yes, I will have. I mean, I'll be, and that's why I formed my own party, because I didn't want to be part of any corrupt person. That's why I spend my own money to form a party for the Liberian people. I didn't get money from nobody, so that I can't owe nobody money to steal and put it back.
Will you admit here that one of the problems in
and if I have to spend more money to give the power to Liberian people, I will do that.
A professional.
I'm not going to go to any corrupt person to get money from them to do well, so that tomorrow it be behind me. I won't do it.
In a real sense of the word,
I won't do it.
Journalists in Liberia, there are problems.
Compare. Listen.
I would have joined some of these corrupt people, but I said no. I'm not going to do
it.
Compared to Ghana, compared to Sierra Leone, when you look at Liberian journalists, you look at their writings, look at their stories, look at the way they interview. Will you tell me here that you're proud of that?
No, listen to me. I can say not just journalism, but Ghana, in my view, they are far ahead of Liberia in general.
What about Sierra Leone?
And Liberia being the oldest country.
Yes, Sierra Leone. I wouldn't be very straightforward because Sierra Leone has their own challenges.
No, I'm talking about journalism now in Sierra Leone. When you read,
I wouldn't be what to say Sierra Leone is far better than Liberia.
Okay, but Ghana is, okay? Ghana
I wouldn't say that.
And it's a very crucial part of the democratic process.
Yeah.
You got to have journalists. You can't have supporters posting as journalists.
I agree with you. On that. The only thing I want us to
let end the broadcast on a good note that
no.
What we're trying to do here is to try to hold people, the journalists, and because people don't know this. People think election is just go in, you vote, then are free and fair and transparent.
I've said it, and I agree with you guys. This is why we don't think anybody's view should be sanctioned. You have all right to say what you want to say, but let's respect too. Listen, the reason why I came here, so I wouldn't allow that. Maybe you don't taking note of that. Chu-Chu and Bannie. If even somebody was on this show talking to Mr. Bannie is a role, Mr. Bannie is a role, I'll be very keen about that. I wouldn't allow that to pass by. You probably seen it just like Gongloe and what else.
Yeah, but you see, like you see, Jensen, when Mr. Bannie said, listen, this about the local defense, the Nima Defense Force thing. I asked him a question. I said, what is the source? And he said this was mentioned in the TRC hearing.
TRC hearing.
It's
not sufficient. You should ask him for the
because the TRC hearing, hearing is a legal document. It's a legal process.
I agree, but when you go and read the TRC report, there is nothing in the TRC report. Listen to me. You and I.
Now, if the TRC,
you and I are aware of having symposium, having conferences, having debates, and people taking note of the essential aspect, the important aspect of a discussion.
Okay, let's say it was not about
for consideration.
Let's say
there is no report.
Okay, let's say
it was somebody else.
Let's say that my village was burned.
It was about McGill. Okay, did the U.S. have any evidence? Okay, clear evidence that they presented.
Okay, see.
Okay, for McGill and what his name? Cephas. No, it was all based on their intuition and allegations. But Liberian people jump behind because they hate, they hate these people so much, so justice would not be served.
So all the people in Georgia are government, only two people were corrupt.
If they're going to do the same thing, hold on now. If they're going to do the same thing to somebody like Tiawan Gongloe or Alice Cummings, then all of us here will be saying, "Oh, where the evidence? We took those people out of the job."
You see,
allegations.
Trying to that's rare.
Or allegations.
Trying to beat around, what we should be discussing when it comes to all of these individuals. You want to talk about U.S. sanction? Maybe you can find the time and discuss it and find the people who can.
No, he's just making an exception. He's just making an exception. He's just making an example.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're discussing. Those are the things
just
that
an
make
example.
us strong. How you
just
apply? You don't see one person.
So in Georgia, government, only 2 persons were corrupt.
Yeah.
No, any
government that was like that, United States government,
listen to me. There were Liberian expectation, right? Liberian knew that the Georgia government, there were corrupt practices in the U.S. government.
Okay.
When the U.S. government report came out, listen to me now. When the U.S. government report came out, people are even up to this day, they're still expecting that there will be another round of sanctions against some of these other officials of the government. And other you who have been following that.
No, and why they have not?
Why?
For some of the even things that the Treasury Department, listen to if some of the things the Treasury Department did not act rightfully, then it's up to you to believe that.
Yeah, right? But that's what we discussed, and that's why as a media, you bring people with different views and you have a conversation and you let them tell you why and why not.
I agree.
And we don't do that in our society. One person said because the Treasury Department come and say McGill is corrupt, so I will accept it. I will ask for the evidence.
Fine, you should be what they read further, right? And that's what we all should be doing. Okay. Read further and say, "Oh, this is what this person has said."
And I read further, and I see anything that I don't see anything unbeknownst. I don't see anything that wasn't commonly practiced in any other government or by any other official. They just single out those people.
Wrong things are commonly practiced. If people got involved in wrongdoing and they were not caught, they were not prosecuted, they were not sanctioned, does that give anybody the right to continue doing the same thing?
No.
The U.S. government get their own standard. I'm not here to discuss sanction. But if I was discussing sanction, I would have had a discussion and gave you what sanction and what the Minsky law is and why they took certain decisions on those persons and all of those stuff. And then you can have your own.
I don't have to agree. Listen, I don't have to agree as much as I don't like those individuals. It doesn't mean that if justice is not served or due course is not performed, that means those because I don't like them or because I may have an intuition. You are a legal person. You go by the presumption of innocence until due process.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think these people
not popular opinion.
They are not. That's why even the U.S. ambassador recently said they expected that the government herself would have taken some action.
The U.S. embassy move for here. The other U.S. embassy moving there because they should just the way how they can try and prosecute anybody who breaks a law anywhere in the world. They themselves can come and try McGill. If they claim that.
So, I mean, it was just about fair that the government
that was a political
accountability.
The reality is that was highly political. And that was wrong.
What is political or not, that's your view, right? You are entitled to your view.
And then if
the government had decided to go into
what we're doing, young Liberians today now, we're teaching them how they can have a conversation, how somebody can have a different view, whether you're America or you're China. And we live in a society where people should be intellectuals. People should be able to discuss.
Exactly. That's what we're doing right here.
That's what we're doing here.
If we were like dictators, I would have called patient and say, patient, you had to call that show up, man. Because why they go do
well, but I think you can't boss your way in.
No. That was join the discussion. And I think the audience gets two sides of it. There's a group that accusing Tiawan Gongloe of being a warlord. He organized war crime. Not war crime, he organized
you keep misquoting Mr. Bannie.
And somebody is saying, look,
that's not right.
Evidence.
Because you're going to go out tomorrow and say, Mr. Bannie said that Tiawan Gongloe is a warlord. And nobody said that. The man was very clear.
That. If you said, and that's the analogy, anybody will listen to you.
The man did not make an analogy. The man told you.
An analogy is not a.
He said.
You don't want to. You see now the problem you get. Mr. Bannie has said that Tiawan Gongloe.
He said the man was help organize the Lofa.
Isn't what you said?
Okay.
But what makes you think that
one of the organizer of the NIMA Defense Force? I didn't say he is a warlord.
Yes.
So I am analyzing your statement to suggest or to me
And
any rational person would think that way that Mr.
and
Bannie is
even
accused
there
of
is an
being a
individual who is a Ghanaian now who confessed but from his own mouth that he helped to found the Ulimo. He is a Ghanaian. I am saying something.
But at that time,
Listen to me.
he lived in Liberia at that time. In the
Listen to me,
warehouse.
man. Listen to me, sir.
In Liberia at that time.
No, listen to me.
Mr. Bannie. Mr. Bannie raising another serious allegation. Not listen to him.
Yeah, listen to me.
Yeah.
And now I'm raising a serious allegation against an unknown person.
Yeah.
There is another TRC, but I mean, yeah, TRC report about a Ghanaian who confessed that he was one of those that organized the Ulimo.
That
So
Gongloe helped organize the Ulimo.
No, not Tiawan Gongloe. So if I bring that,
what is the rationale? What is
the rationale is that there are a lot of testimony that we can take, because you see, if you raise your hands up before this show, I say, I Joseph Bannie, I swear, or I do whatever, I affirm that whatever thing I say, they are all true, to the best of my knowledge. So whatever I say here, even whether I'm here or not, anybody can hold it against me.
Yes, it's
and you can't say, oh no, Mr. Bannie. Anybody can hold it against. So all those who came in from the TRC, raise their hands up and say, I swear that whatever I say is nothing but the truth. And you say it, I can take that as a fight.
Right. No. The issue is, Mr. Bannie, and let's take it like, for example, right? Chu-Chu having an economic forum. Normally in the kind of forum, when
they keep me off because I asked one of the past official or economic question that you couldn't answer.
Okay. All right, but this is the case, right? If there was any economic forum, there would be a lot of deliberations, there'll be presenters, there might be a team where people sit and go and have their, maybe divide the topic or whatever into parts, and people go and bring whatever recommendation those different groups, had. And then out of that, there will be a report from that economic forum. That report will capture the essential, the essence of that forum. And it is that recommendation that will be so out there, that will be broadcast, that Liberia will look at. Maybe if you're looking at, for example, they mentioned about unemployment. Everybody's speaking on unemployment will not be, they are authority to say it. So somebody will talk something, okay, yeah, they may just a participant. We just look at it, okay, he said it, but somebody who is an economic come and speak, they may lay down what they're supposed to do to deal with unemployment. Maybe that person's analysis or piece of paper presented might form an essential component of the recommendation, but will not be quoting him as his voice. It will be the voice of the forum.
Yeah,
now the
but
TRC. Let me learn. The TRC was organized and witnesses went there and testified.
Okay.
From no out of those testimony, there is a TRC report. And honestly, Liberia is on an island. We know one another in our country. Even in the world of fought, those who organize all the different factions and all of those stuff, they are all known. So if Tiawan Gongloe had helped to organize a defense force, Nima Defense Force, it would have been no secret among Nimbayan themselves. Even Prince Johnson would have used that against.
Let me ask you a question.
But, okay,
that is
let me tell you something.
Why were you, Mr. Bannie?
Let me see. No, Chu-Chu.
Somebody is saying something, other implies or whatever. This is what.
Okay, Chu-Chu.
Yeah.
It's not fair. That's
what the guy, the honorable Yeka Cllr.
Yeah.
The honorable Yeka Cllr have accused George Weah on numerous times of him being part of the formation of a rebel force.
Right.
We have heard him say over and again.
And they play on the radio station. Nobody asked for
George Weah to come up and
to a radio.
No, not on Twitter radio.
Yeah, I agree. We have heard about George Weah forming this and that. Do we believe that? Right?
So
if somebody came to Jensen and say, well, Joe, we have
someone who said I was there. Someone who said I know it, I'm there.
When you deny it, gentlemen, I think the signal us. I think we've been over an hour. So if we can just try to close it up, we'll be here tomorrow. you know, will be stepping on a lot of people too. So who know who will bump in tomorrow, depending on who we talk about.
We will bump in
But it was a
again.
pleasure having you, Jesse. We'll have you as part of the show if you
No,
are
it was a
not.
pleasure to have all of you guys. I mean, discussing.
Yeah, if you're not so sold out for Tiawan
Yeah,
Gongloe,
if you are not just cut off us
you
and
make a good edition.
damage
Say that
or
again.
spoil
Say that
our
again. No,
program.
say that again. Chu-Chu, say that
I
again.
say if you are not a strong supporter of Tiawan Gongloe, you would have made a very good edition to critique all the other issues in Canada.
No, you see, that's the problem you have, right? No. I think you're not fair to me. No, you're not fair because what I say, you're not fair. Tiawan Gongloe, I'm an independent person. No, listen, I'm an independent person, and I don't have my feeling.
Not.
I have said it. No, listen, I have said it over and over. Tiawan Gongloe is one of those persons. Get my word very clear, and those who listen to me.
You say you supported him.
You say I didn't say that.
I did not use the word support. Listen to me. I have said it, and I want to repeat myself. If you didn't get me well, get me right now.
Okay.
Tiawan Gongloe is one of those candidates that Liberia needs to rely on in this election.
According to Jesse.
So you support him?
Yeah, according to Jesse. I have said, and I repeat, Tiawan Gongloe is one of those candidates that Liberia can rely on.
Okay, so all the evidence we lay on here about his incompetence.
You have had no evidence as far as key issue here. Tiawan Gongloe, you have had no proof. I want to know if Tiawan Gongloe from a
I get the evidence here. I went to the net website, nothing there.
But wait, is that the only thing that disqualifies him? Would that be the only point to disqualify him?
Except a broom.
Would that be the only point that would disqualify him?
It would be a major issue. If it is
would that be the only point?
No, would that be? Guess what? There are many warlords into the race, right? Or who have other people to get in the race.
Okay, so then why are you making a big issue out of that?
Yeah, why are you making big issue out of this?
No. The first thing is let us establish that
listen, Chu-Chu.
Organized, and that
you say there are many warlords in the. Can you name one of them beside your man?
Oh, I know about Prince Johnson, right?
Okay.
And I know.
How you know he's a warlord? Has he been declared? Has he been declared as a warlord?
Oh yes, he has been declared as a warlord.
Was he declared as warlord? Because he argued that he has not been declared. He has not been prosecuted.
When you say that, Mr. Bannie, Prince Johnson is on recording.
We'll be here tomorrow. We're not going to talk about tomorrow.
I don't want to be very personal about
party.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow. We're not telling you who we're going to talk about because we want people to come bashing us. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Mr. Jensen.